so the Spore Queen have received a couple of changes again. Specifically, Digital Extremes made some big changes to her Spore ability, and I will be covering its new mechanics and somehow share my opinion about how the new spores work right now. Okay, let's begin this video. The very first change that Saryn received in this new update is that her spores are now recastable and will not detonate all active spores. Recasting on an infected enemy consumes 20% of current damage per second from the meter and casts spores for 50% reduced energy cost. An infected enemy can carry up to 12 spores via recasting spores on it. Reset decay is inversely affected by ability strength, which means that it reduces the amount consumed when you have more power strength, while its recast energy discount and max spores per enemy via recast are not affected by mods. In addition, the spores spread range when killing an enemy is now somehow consistent, as it's given a new base range of 16 meters across all spreading conditions. However, the ability of spores to spread additional spores, when enemies die on its tick damage, have been removed. But that's not really a big problem, as aside from being recastable, spores decay now instead of totally disappearing when there's no infected enemy on the field. However, once there are no infected enemies, spores' current damage per second is instantly reduced by 20%, then decays at 10% per second until it reaches the initial damage amount. Damage decay stops when at least one enemy is infected by spores. Its reset decay is inversely affected by ability strength, which means more strength reduces amount consumed, while damage decay rate is inversely affected by ability duration, which means more duration reduces amount of damage decay per second. Lastly, the decay does increase rapidly by nullifying effects such as entering Sanctuary Onslaught data conduits or when you are caught in a nullifier's bubble. Now Saryn 3.0 was a total beast because of the insane damage scaling. In the previous rework, the damage scaling was affected by ability strength, and as well as the number of spores active in the field, which is why you can rack up thousands of damage on your spore counter fast. However, the recent update changed that, as from now on, the spore's damage growth over time is now determined per enemy infected, and with it, a max limit of 10 infected enemies to maintain a max damage growth limit over time. Do take note that the number of infected enemies are not capped. You can infect more than 10 enemies, but the damage growth is dependent on that maximum limit of 10. So is this a bad side? Is this a nerf to Saryn's spores? If you compare Saryn 3.0 and the current Saryn, you will feel that the damage scaling right now is nothing compared to the insane damage scaling of the previous Saryn. In fact, you can melt heavily armored units with your spores in just seconds. And just imagine if you have a Trinity who is casting Well of Life to help you preserve the spores' damage. That's the main point of this rework, I guess, as Digital Extremes see it really overpowered. And as a matter of fact, I see that overpowered too. Although the insane damage scaling was nerfed to the ground, the new Saryn feels amazing in my opinion. One main reason why I say that it's great is that the detonation thing was removed, and by recasting it on different target, we can preserve some of the spores' growth. Now, I've been testing Saryn on the Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, and so far, she's still the queen of this mission. The new Saryn right now feels more lively and active because of the new mechanics, compared to Saryn 3.0, where at some point you can just stand in place and watch the enemies die from your spores. I still can farm the Sanctuary Onslaught with the new Saryn, and I'm having no issue using her on this mission. However, I did change my build for solo farming Elite Sanctuary Onslaught. Right now, I have this current mod set up for this mission. If you have watched my previous video on solo farming this mission, I did have the overextended mod on this build, but right now, I've decided to just use Augur Reach and Stretch, since spores are now recastable, and you don't usually end up losing all your spore growth because of the new decay mechanic. I also remove Blind Rage in this build and replace it with Transient Fortitude, as I don't have any efficiency mods anymore on this build. I rely on Hunter Adrenaline to restore my lost energy, and as always, I have quick thinking, regenerative molt and vitality for survivability. Now, you can replace quick thinking with steel fiber if you don't like the stagger effect of this mod. Anyway, it's still work fine because your molt can help you survive with its augment that heals you, and its nature to aggro enemies. Now in other mission types, I'm also using the same exact build I'm running on Elite Sanctuary Onslaught. I did run Saryn in sortie missions today and as well as some other missions, and so far, she's still a good Warframe in my honest opinion. In fact, the new mechanics has made her better, as the spores now can be spread consistently with the recast and decay mechanic. The only thing that I think should need improvement is how fast the decay of spore growth. It's like Atlas Rubble mechanics on its initial form, and I hope that Digital Extremes consider lowering the decay rate of the spores. When it comes to surviving different missions, I think Saryn is buff a bit because of her molt, which gives you mobility, and somehow the molt lasts long to take away aggro. Anyway, Saryn is not meant to tank and never will be a tank frame, so her molt serves her well right now, giving her that bit of survivability wherein she can have a breathing room to escape hordes of enemies. So that's it. That's my opinion on the current state of Saryn. Now, I would like you guys to give your thoughts also on the most recent rework for Saryn. You can share your reactions on the comment box below, or we can chat about it on our Discord channel. I will just leave the link to our official Discord channel on the video description below in case you have spare time to chat about Warframe stuff. As always, please do me a favor and hit that like button if you did enjoy this video. And for those who are new to this channel, you can join the Grind team by simply subscribing to this channel. Just remember to turn on the notification bell to receive daily Warframe videos from your squad leader. Thank you so much for watching. Squad leader signing off.